Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This project, I'm going to talk about this, some balance changes discussion for the next Town Salem season, which will be the 5th season. So Mafioso will now have some sort of astral attack. Now, what that means, if you don't know, is it basically will bypass any sort of TP claim, lookouts, spies, everything else. It will bypass all of that to directly attack your target. Originally, they were planning to make it an unstoppable attack, which I like the idea in theory. In reality, it was going to end up just killing neutral evil and neutral killing as well as Jailer. This way, they've still got the basic attack, but they can now bypass. Well, they can now bypass any sort of TP, lookouts, spies, the rest of it. And that's, of course, the target is jailed, in which case they can't do anything against that, or neutral killing, or neutral evil. It gives Mafioso a little bit more to actually do, because at the moment Mafioso is a pretty boring role where they're basically just following what Godfather is saying. Framer, limited number of uses to target your own Mafia members, making them appear as innocent. I like the change, and it's a change I've mentioned quite a few times, so it's good to see that finally coming through. There's two problems I see. First of all, they aren't going far enough, because when I originally pitched the various ideas, one of them was I wanted frame targets to be seen as visiting by a lookout, even if they didn't visit. Which it also meant that as you can frame Mafia, you can make your Mafia appear as visiting the target, which I don't think that goes far enough in terms of Invest, because Invest will still see the target as frame just Vamp, which is still not great. Unless they rework Invest, in which case I still think framing needs to be able to change the Invest results of people. Jailer cannot jail the same player on consecutive nights, so basically how Pirate works. So if you saw my video a few days back, you nearly can't pirate the same person on consecutive nights. If a jailer executes a town member, they will commit suicide the following night, like how the vigilante works. That's awful. Why? Okay, Town of Salem has had a problem pretty much since the very first day where jailers could keep Mafia killing jailed for the entire game. If they were lucky and worked out who it was, because I've got a game, I don't think I ever actually uploaded it. I had a game where I was jailer, I just kept the Mafia killing jailed for 4 nights, and Town wondered what the hell was going on, because they hadn't worked out I found Mafia killing. Because we lynched the Mafioso, the guy was claiming spy, and I just said, yeah, I'm just going to keep you in jail tonight. Yeah, no Mafia kills, just kept him in jail, just confirm it. Yeah, 4 nights later, yeah. Town wiped out. But yeah, that sort of takes that function away, and it will also stop the situation in Town Traitor where they're keeping Mafia killing jailed and alive. It's good to finally see them get around to fixing it, but committing suicide if you kill a town member? Remember, this is a town member, this is not neutral evil, this is not neutral killing, this is not neutral benign, this is not vamps, this is any town member. I don't like that idea, because it's taking away some of the jailers' power, which, I mean, you've already done that with the whole fixing them from jailing the same person on consecutive nights. There's no reason to nerf the jailer any further, because it's in a pretty decent spot, because you've already nerfed the whole TP lookout meta, and it's one of those, there's still changes. Some of these changes are not trivial, yeah. Disguise. Instead of taking on the role of your target, you can select from a list of all possible roles to disguise us for the night. This is still a bad call. Disguise's biggest problem is it takes away claim space from Mafia. And at the moment, with that suggestion, with the exception of getting your disguise as, say, your own Mafia, or as neutral killing or neutral evil, you're not really going to benefit from that. The only time I've seen Disguiser work for me is when I accidentally disguised as an executioner. I did that basically to confirm one of my own guys as Town. And then Town realised after they lived just 2 days later that, oh, wait a minute, there was a Disguiser in play. Yeah. Choose a target and night to disguise their role with a role from a list of all possible roles. Limited to 1 use. Right, to explain this, I'm actually going to go over to the Phone Alive thing and talk about the Scorned here, which has an ability where a player will appear as a chosen class. If executed tomorrow, they will be where if they're executed tomorrow, they will appear as that role. So what that means, going back to this a sec, is that basically I can disguise that target as any role I want. So like, for example, let's say I'm going to push, let's say I'm a disguiser. I don't like this doc claim and I want to get this doc claim out. Now I could easily claim the sheriff and claim he's suspicious and do that way. Alternatively, I could literally frame him, claim invest, claim he was BGGFR so and not on, well, BGGFR so, not dark, and label him as my own godfather, or as the arsonist. I mean, that comes in a lot more handy, but the problem is it also feels very limited, especially for Mafia. One successful use, that's not great, is it? I still think they need to really look at Disguiser and think, how are they going to work on that? Because I think the only way you can really get Disguiser to work is to allow Disguisers their own Mafia targets. I think that's the only way you're going to get Disguiser to work effectively. Now, I was planning to end the video there. I've talked about what I wanted to talk about, and then I read this. This came out, would have been yesterday? Yeah, it would have been yesterday. The Retributionist rework is now complete, etc, etc. They're planning to rework Medium. Removes the Medium's dependency on dead players not leaving the game. Blah, 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 blah. I feel more fun. What's allowed Medium to be a useful role? Medium will now seance with a dead role each night. Medium will learn important information about the dead player. Up for the design debate, but such as role, hard character, medium character, disguise in the reveal game modes. Being a hard counter may be too strong. Who visited them? A look out for dead people. Yeah, that's bad. Who the dead player visited each night? Notability feedback from each night. Maybe limited to TI roles. Forwarding of TI information from each night will replace the last will on clean stoned, or if the player failed to leave an accurate will. Also count as forced wills. And should the medium be able to keep seancing? Right. Now, my personal opinion here is that medium is one of those roles that's it's not the greatest role. That relies on players being alive. There has been previous topics about this. And right, my personal opinion, looking at it, I get what they're going for, but is there really a point in this? Medium's not the highest priority to fix right now, especially when you consider that, well, frame is still really weak, disguise is still not great. Yeah, I think there's a lot more they can look at. Personally, if I'm reworking Medium, this is me thinking about it in like 15 seconds or so, allow the Medium to see the last night's results. For example, if a sheriff is checking someone, you can, as a Medium, just literally go into that person's role and just get their last night's results. But you can do that anyway as Medium. I think, here's the thing, I think keeping dead chat around is probably the best option, but allow Medium to have an additional power, so the ability to like see the last person's results if they've left or if they've been cleaned, which I think is probably a better idea. But yeah, that's it. We've discussed quite a few things today. Let me know what you think and I'll see you next time.